Thanks for tuning in to Season 2 of the Hollow Points Podcast. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share. And what do we do, Coach?
We accept the challenge of providing dangerous, thought-provoking, and sometimes controversial insights into life's most common topics.
Get your mind right, yeah. Get your mind right.
For me, it's this. I done worked too hard to get here to let you come fuck this up for me. Because when you don't achieve it and you obtain it, you don't appreciate it. It's just like in business school, they teach you to target children, the elderly, and travelers. Because y'all know when y'all travel, you go and buy a $6 bag of chips at the gas station, $2, 1 liter. You spending money. Look, I'm traveling. I'm cool. The airport, everything is high as hell. $16 hamburger, but you're traveling. Children don't make money, so they don't understand the concept of how the real value of the dollar works. And so you target children. They don't mind because they just spending it because it just comes out of nowhere. And then the elderly can't take it with them. So they like, look, I want these memories. I want this experience and I'll pay. That's because those are vulnerable people. Well, when a woman puts herself in a position where her development is childlike, her development doesn't know the equation of how valuable when they talk about know your value, girl, know your value. If these bras really knew their value, they would cry. They would cry because your value is not your get up.
So
Your
who gonna
value is
tell them?
not your life is gonna fuck. The bad part about it is, and you know
Eventually,
this because
yeah.
you've lived this, life is gonna tell them. Yep, it's just gonna be too late. It's a sad story. Very sad story.
It's gonna be
I call it the
hard.
pretty woman. And what you was talking about with the movies, I call it the pretty woman effect. There is no situation where a fucking millionaire is out looking for a prostitute that won't kiss him and end up marrying her. That is the correct. But everybody think they Julia Roberts. Everybody think because she had a good heart, she didn't kiss the Johns. Like this motherfucker was a prostitute. Why are we acting like she wasn't a whore? She was a whore. He came over and blew the horn with the limousine and was in the sunroof. And people love that movie. Love that movie because that's the rag. That's the if I just have a good heart and I'm a good person, I'm Cinderella. And people treat me like shit, and life has done me so dirty that the universe is gonna bless me with somebody that's willing to look down here. Why was he's broken if he's looking down there?
Yeah, why is that the best he could do?
Man,
Well,
he was broken.
you can go ahead and blame Disney because Disney didn't make Steven Rella or whatever. All of them based off of the women finding the prince.
Right. Right.
So
Well, the tough part about that is too, and having girls, and you know this, I'm really big on, and I showed you like the pictures I got in my daughter hallway. You got to be more than what looks ain't never made no person. My mom used to always say that looks ain't never made no person. The one thing that Disney does is it's not an okay looking princess. You know what I'm saying? It's not a high
She's
princess
always a
that somebody
dime
comes
piece.
save.
Yeah.
Yeah, always disproportionate, always thin, always willing to clean other people's. She always Cinderella, Snow White. Them motherfuckers was the cleanest broads on Disney.
oh my
You know
God.
what I'm saying? So keep
Cinderella
in
was
mind
finer than her
they was always
stepsisters. That don't happen.
man. She was so beautiful when you dressed her up, but she was domesticated than the motherfucker. See, this is what the women ain't taking into account. You domesticated as hell. Ariel, the Little Mermaid, fought like hell to go after this dude chasing this dang lane. You know what I'm saying? and was willing to give up the kingdom. She was a princess.
Oh my God.
And he was like a sailor. He was a sailor. So, that kind of thing, man, I think that we tend to compartmentalize the things that we want to take. So once again, grandmama was like this, and when granddad died early, because they all died before the women, because they got wore out working up, killing them for the OT, and she was able to get his pension, and now we go out there and she cooked good for us, and they own this land, and they got 4-wheelers, and you don't want that. Stop comparing yourself to something you don't even want.
Exactly.
Working the OT
And you
and
definitely don't
taking
want this
care of a
work.
whole nother family too.
Exactly. Yeah, when that come, but that's the funeral when that come out, and then we act like she
oh
was
my
hating.
gosh.
She had all them kids by him because she was hating. She was jealous of grandma.
And I know that story too well. Yes.
But I think that once again, you was talking about the list, and you was talking about the relative perspective of why are you asking for something that you yourself aren't willing to generate. I think that it's good to go in with a plan. It's good to go in with communication and expectations. because once you do that, you realize either we got it or we don't. I could get with a woman and we talk about $6-7 million all we want to. I got about 0.7 on it. like, like you got the rest in your mind. I can help and I can blow on the fire and I can rub your feet when you come home. You want to go out there and get this because that's what you dream of, to be generational wealthy. I got you, but I don't got it. And you're gonna lose a lot of chicks when you stop selling dreams. But all of the women that's older and single all complain about niggas selling dreams. And they bought it. And then the receipt said no returns after 15 days.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying? So they just holding on to these dreams that ain't no good, they defective. And they
mm.
can't return them and they can't get their time back. And now they think all men are bad and all it wasn't that the dude was bad. It was what you was talking about wore him down.
And then
The worst thing for a woman,
and
the
they
worst thing
starting
for a
them
woman
all out at
is
0%. Oh my
absolutely.
gosh.
But here's the situation. I'm telling you, the worst feeling that could ever happen is my daughter dating a guy. He's a good guy. He has a idea. He has a plan. He ain't too extra. He's staying in his lane, but he he don't talk big. He just bout it, right? He got action.
Mm,
And she like, ugh, it's dudes that's in her ear that's older, that's got more
mm-hmm,
stories to tell.
mm-hmm.
And she bite that hook. She bite that hook and get with the dude that's already established stories to tell, and he got this game, and he pull up in the car like her daddy. 6 years later, 7 years later, she been done with it. The dude been done with her. She on dude number 5, and she go to the mall or the grocery store and see up and coming buddy with his wife and their young daughter, and everything that he said
Sick.
is being acted out, but she couldn't be fucking cool or invest early in the stock.
Right. And gonna be sick.
She wanted to get the shortcut.
Mm-hmm.
She wanted to go the quick route. If you go shortcutting, you get cut short.
That's true.
And it's just, what did you do to help buddy that came and got you that you thought was the man? You thought he came and got you because you deserved it. But dude that was trying to build with you was trying to really make you deserve it.
Yeah. Wow.
So that's what I don't want for my girls. And I think that kind of list, it lets you know when you come up with that list, it sounds cute and everything. Let's say the score ain't 850. Let's say the score is 750.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say the salary ain't 200,000. I'm gonna tell y'all one more piece of game. I'm in the ATL. I'm with it. I'm talking to a coworker of mine. She in her late 20s. She probably 26, 27. She's a fitness model too on the side. She was cool, real nice. I ain't hit her nothing. Don't think that. But she wasn't that nice. She wasn't ready. You know what I'm saying? But the point of it was I was probably 30 at the time. And she said, now keep in mind, we do the same job. So we making around 30,000, a little more 30,000. And she was like, I'm holding out because I need a 6-figure dude. And I said, okay. And so what's your age range? And she was like, because she had been dating and it had been failing and all of that kind of stuff. What's your age range? She was like, between my age and like 35. Okay. Kids? Yeah, he can have a kid or two. Okay, let's do the math now. 6 figures is $100,000. Child support for one kid is 20%. So now we at $80,000. Real simple here for me. Okay, real simple math. If he got more than one kid, we can add more money, but the message doesn't get any stronger. He's at $80,000. Now, taxes in the state of Georgia, he getting about 26% taken off. That's $26,000. We could take it off 80,000 and it'd be like 23,000. But anyway, we down to like $56,000. Then he drive the nice whip because that's what attracted you. He smelled good. He got a decent apartment, and that's how you knew he was a 6-figure nigga, right? If he do anything for his mama, okay, and then y'all want to travel a little bit, he holding on to if he got anything in the 401k. And I just went through the money, and basically when it always came down to it, he had about $18,000 a year retained earnings. He had an extra $1,200 a month to do stuff before she came into the picture. So yes, he's a $100,000 dude, but he got really $1,200 a month. And if y'all go to 3 of these meals you want to go to, that's gone. So y'all going out to eat. So but you make 30,000 and I ain't taking out no taxes yet.
Right. Right.
So this number, you've been programmed to think 6-figure, 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 but you only have 30,000 on it before taxes. Why is he with you? He's living exactly how he wants to live and set it all up to get with somebody that's close to that so he could at least maintain this allowance of $1,200 a month. But if he's with you, that's all negative. You haven't contributed anything. You don't even make $1,200 a month down here, after taxes and all of that. And she was mad. She was mad because I took her to the math. But I think a lot of times women hear stuff, see stuff, like my man said, if it's on TV, it's for TV. And stop trying to perpetuate things that you've seen and you haven't felt, things that you've heard of, but you haven't lived. People say a lot of stuff. Give it time. Give it time. If you say you and your husband is happy, I'm going to give y'all 4 seasons. And if I give y'all another year and it's looked the same as it did, smell the same as it did, you ain't picked up no weight, lost no weight, ain't no black eyes, no nothing. You know what? You was probably telling the truth. You
Oh
was
my
probably telling the truth.
God.
You know what I'm saying? You was probably telling the truth. But you got to give stuff time. Life is too valuable. It's monogamous, right? You only get one. You only get one life. So don't trick it off trying to chase something that you really don't deserve. And that argument of what I deserve as a woman, you said it with so much confidence. Why do you expect this, that, and this, that? And you said, because I have a vagina.
Mhm. Yeah.
I'm like,
I mean,
damn.
and I'm cute. Cause that's what it's
Right,
about.
right,
These young
right,
women,
right.
they cute, they can dance, they attracting these guys that on the outside have all of this stuff that they want. But then
Mhm,
once they get to know him and they get, into the relationship, it's oh hell, he behind on his car note couple of months.
mhm,
Uh, he don't pay his bills on time. He got 4, 5 different kids. He got all these baby mamas.
mhm,
But you was looking at the cars. You was looking at the
mhm,
money. You was looking at
mhm.
I'm taking me out in all these places. I'm going shopping every weekend. This is what I like. And that's you actually thought that's how you was gonna be living with this person for however long you want to be with this person, but not who this person is and what else this person got going on. Not thinking that it was going to affect you too while you in a relationship. You
Right.
you want the money and you want the clothes and the car, but you don't want all the extra stuff that come with it. Which is how he handled his finances, his kids, his baby mamas, his
Mhm,
sister, his brother,
mhm,
all this other
mhm.
mess. And I don't think they care about that. They just want what they want when they want it. And for our,
I'm gonna
their,
say,
Yeah. So how do we uh, putting that aside? So their face and where they pee at.
yeah.
Putting that aside, how do they actually hunt properly? And I'll kick it over to Sean. What advice would you give to a young lady, a decent young lady, of how to hunt properly and find a good
Long term
man?
success.
Yes,
Long term success.
long
Yes.
term. Yep.
they definitely gonna have to let the materialistic stuff go. Cause the to me, that's not that's not gonna last. That doesn't make the relationship. When when you're dating, you dating for someone to care for you, and you're gonna care for them. And that's how it should start. And you should start. You should look at that person as if I want to learn to like you, eventually learn to love you. What is it about you that I'm gonna like and love that's gonna take us into this future? It's not gonna be the materialistic things.
What's
You can,
what's
as
some
a couple together, you can bring all this stuff with you and make this stuff happen. But it's the person that you have to learn that you're gonna learn to love and like, not the stuff.
what's some materialistic stuff they need to let go? What's some examples?
Well, let's say if we're talking about someone in their 30s, because 20-some-year-olds they don't know, they're still young, they're too young. So late 20s, early 30s, I would say if you're going on a date with somebody, and for instance, I from experience, and this person you meet this person, and they have a job, and you have a job. I wouldn't say they gotta have their own place because you don't know dating what situation they just got out of. So you need to know if they don't have their own place, then get to know why. Because it could be something so simple as to, well, I just started this job. I've been on this job for a year because I lost a job that I was on for 6 years. You don't know why. So the car that they're driving. I mean, if they have a car, it ain't got to be the most recent year car. All that materialistic stuff like what these young people look at now, these Dodge Challengers and Cadillac Escalades and ooh, that's stupid to me. That's materialistic stuff. Car, house, the list that David had, the credit score, all of that. I don't think you should lay that out right in the beginning. When you're dating somebody, I want to know about you. I want to know about your family. Do you have kids? The things you do in your spare time. Because I'm trying to figure out what type of person you are. Because if you just for example, if you like to fish, and I know there's no way in hell that I'm going fishing with you, but that's what you like to do every weekend, then I don't want to the adult me now, but not the younger me. I don't want to string you along because I know I never ever go fishing with you. But if I know, hey, I probably could fish with you. You go once a month. I may like to go, riding the dirt bikes or whatever with you, the four wheelers or
Mhm.
whatever. You got to get to know that person. I don't think you should be worried about when y'all first start dating how much money this person is making and what area do they live in, what part of town, do they have a house, what kind of car he driving. I don't think you should wear, but that's materialistic to me.
I think another thing is how did he get it? Did he get it from his daddy now or whatever the case may be?
That,
Because that
well,
matters too.
that
But
does.
I'm gonna say this, and this last thing I'm gonna say for us on this. Um, I was thinking about when y'all was talking, and the best women I've ever met had the exact. And I'm not talking about that I ever dated. I'm talking about ever met, ever heard of. The best black women I've ever known of had one quality in common. They were excellent home/life managers. All of them was capable of balancing the budget, making sure we had this, making sure things was clean when people showed up. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
They were all excellent home managers. That is the most attractive thing you could be. If a young woman is listening to this and you want to get a good dude, the best way to get him is to prove that you're a great home manager. I don't care. Now I don't care about the get ups and the outfits and the costume. If you are a great home manager, there will be a place for you on the team. That's number one. The last thing I would say is love to me. I'm going to put you onto a cartoon now, right? You got this big ass slingshot. And so you got the slingshot and it's got a body in it. Love is like a slingshot. The further you pull back and put effort into the beginning of it, the further that motherfucker will fly. You got to be willing to pull back, strain up front to build it
Hmm.
together
Hmm.
in order to know, okay, this is, I'm about to let go, and you should land where we want you to land. And then they got to be ready. And then you let them go and they fly. And a lot of times people want all of that results without any of that effort, without any of that pullback. You know what I'm saying? Any of that muscle. Um, and that's where you just feel like everything that you've done before him, he deserves to have inherit and pay you off for. He came in and paid off all the debt that I assumed in my old relationship. He came in and fixed all of the stuff that was destroyed by this other dude. That's not what you should even want from a good dude. You shouldn't want a good dude to come in and save everything because he's going to have either he's a gump or he's going to want something. There's an exchange rate to that type of saving. And it ain't you being cute because cute is a depreciating asset.
Hmm.
There is no 67-year-old chick thinking that she cute enough to get somebody. That's not how cute works. Cute is going down. You look, and I'm not even talking about my opinion of her. I'm talking about her opinion of her compared to her 30-year-old self. I'm talking about her opinion of her compared to her 18-year-old self. Women can age gracefully and still be cute when they older, but they know just like you, they ain't as cute as they used to be.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So it's a depreciating asset, and you have to have something else to augment your value. And I believe, in my experience, that home manager thing always, always makes it. It always, when you got somebody that you know you don't have to worry about the crib, ain't nothing like it. Ain't nothing. That's invaluable. It's priceless, and it make you go out there and run through hell with gasoline draws on.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the real value, not that cute and the big lashes. And ain't no nigga ever compliment no chick on how big her lashes was. You know what I'm saying? That's just not how that is. And so a lot of these young women, like I said, and with my daughter, I'm telling her, look, if you want this type of dude, I can tell you the simple things he wants you to be able to produce consistently. And if you do those easily, if especially if you enjoy it, if you enjoy doing it consistently, man, then you got it. You know what I'm saying? If you watch a little football and watch a anime cartoon every now and then, and let the boys come over and play cards
Mm-hmm.
and cook for the friends
Mm-hmm.
and keep the house clean and make sure his mama, you know what I'm saying? Man, defend him to his mama. Can't nobody tell him nothing about you. But once again, you think cute translates to everybody. Everybody don't think you're cute. Especially his aunties and mama and his old girlfriends. Like, somebody hating.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's what I got to say about that. But yeah, that slingshot, man, you got to be willing to pull back, and take your time before you really let it go. Pull it as long as you can. And then when you feel like, man, okay, it's time to let this thing go, it's gonna fly. And but that takes effort, time, and energy and some coordination between both of y'all.
I like that.
Yep.
The key word you said to me was a good home manager, making sure we were good. This
Yes.
all he provides, and I keep my own money is not a we thing to me. That's a I thing, and that's selfish. And you can't be selfish in a being in a relationship, a partnership, and being one with someone else.
I agree.
Yeah, you can't. Any final thoughts, Sean?
I like that slingshot analogy you use, and also I wanted to add to that, when you pull back, the what you put in this slingshot, the weight of it, you know,
Mm-hmm.
you can't weigh it down with silliness. You just can't.
Mm-hmm.
It is gonna it is the effort to pull back, and you just putting silly stuff in it. That, to me, that list that David had, and I keep going back to the list because
Mm-hmm.
if he has it all, he checks off on everything on that list, and life happens, and he gets sick or something happens. Will you be willing to stay? And when he said, "Can you be that? Can you pick it up if he don't have it, or are you just gonna move on to the next person that can fill out this list for you?" And I think that's what a lot of women need to think about too, because you're creating this perfect man that you want, but what are you bringing to the table? Because you might have to step up and be that person, and that's when it comes in. It's a relationship, and we should be able to have each other's back on everything. And I don't think, you know, some of these women don't want that. They want, I'm not gonna say a daddy, but they want somebody to take care of them, and and just,
Like
yeah, but
A
I just hate to
parent,
say that,
you
like
just
a
don't want to
daddy.
say it.
being a
Man, I
male
But
don't
they
know
just
what
want
parent.
it is.
somebody to
What's
take
a
care of
male
them.
parent?
And if you want a relationship, it has to work both ways. That's the only way it's gonna work. Take care of each other.
I hate to derail this, but I think that what we've done inappropriately is assumed that people do want real love. We've assumed that they do want successful
Mm,
relationships. We've assumed that people want to be special because I can tell you this, the most common thing is dysfunction. The most common thing is a struggle story. The most common thing is drama. I know being a black married person is few of us. It is few and far between. When we meet other black couples that's married, we like, oh my God, they are married and they want to be married. It ain't no problems. It's so few and far between. And so people tend to gravitate towards what's the majority, what's the commonality. No, it takes work to be special. It really does. It takes effort and grit and toughness to maintain special. And unfortunately, the way the world is now, the married people are the unicorns. The married ones that make it work and figure it out are the special ones. And people say that they still want it, but they lying. And their actions are showing me they don't really want it. If my daughter talk about, I really want them settled down and this and that, nothing you're doing equates to that being successful long term. You're saying it because you feel like you're supposed to say it. People say they want a job because you're supposed to say you want to work. You haven't worked in 4 years. You don't want a job. They make jobs. It might not be the one you want, but they make jobs. And you could have figured it out by now or went back to school by now. So when people complain to me about I can't find a good relationship, I have no choice to believe because I love you and believe in you that you don't want a good relationship. You just want to say that you're looking. You want to complain. It's just like when you get unemployment, you just putting in applications so because that's part of the requirement of getting that unemployment check. So a lot of women come into this thing where they don't want to put themselves in a separate category than their girlfriends. And if all their girlfriends is married, and that's rare, then they are going to figure out how to get like them. But if most of their girlfriends are single, they might do it for the ceremony because that's exciting for the whole crew to be bridesmaids and go to wherever for the bachelorette party and woo woo. But then he ain't girl since we've been married, it's been a year and a half and he get on my nerves. Like you knew him for 3 months. Like let's really talk about this. You got the ceremony out of this, and now you like, whew. It's like when my daughter first went to school, first day of school, she wanted to go to school so bad. Got to school and loved it. And then the next morning we woke her up, she was like, I don't want to go back. Like that box has been checked. It was cool. It was cool that first day, and it was everything I thought it would be. But I like sleeping in and staying home with mama. No, you signed up now. You signed this. It's forever like this. And a lot of women aren't ready for the matrimony. That is matrimony. When you signed up, you committed to the commitment. And so I think that we are inappropriately, and people can comment and say, listen, y'all points was cool, but what if the real point is we lying to ourselves and each other? We saying we want something that we showing, because I have no choice to believe that you don't want love when you keep sabotaging love every time it come around. And that's my point.
This concludes another episode of the Hollow Points Podcast, where we act as your therapeutic outlet on topics many think about but are afraid to speak on.
I get your mind right, yeah. I get your mind right, yeah.
Oh, you're welcome.